game, right? Black is white and white is black. Right? Okay, so let's ask this question. Donald J. Trump recognized Jerusalem. First person Donald J. Trump recognized the Golan Heights as part of Israel. Donald J. Trump also recognized that Judea and Samaria belongs to the Jewish people. Donald J. Trump also recognized the Jews are not only a religion, but are a nation and a people. If anyone tries to say anything against the Jewish people, necessary remark, anywhere it could be, it's an act of racism. Because we are a nation, not only a religion. Not only that, Donald J. Trump has a Jewish daughter, Jewish grandchildren, a Jewish son-in-law. The White House kitchen is kosher, and even Orthodox rabbis eat there. Yet, everyone says Donald J. Trump is an anti-Semite. Makes sense? So again, my jacket is white and my shirt is black. How could this be? All of a sudden, people have a reality perception of reality that's not there. So I want to read you something, and you can yourself look at it on YouTube. And this is from a man, a former KGB agent who defected to the United States back in the 80s. And on that YouTube video, you can just put the name Yuri Dizanov, and he says the following: ideological subversion to change the perception of reality of every citizen to such an extent that despite the abundance of information, no one is able to come to sensible conclusions in the interest of defending themselves, their families, their community, and their country. Sounds like 2020? That's right. This man, in this video, in the 80s, who defected from the Soviet Union, tells how he was trained with 15,000 other Soviet agents to infiltrate the United States and other countries around the world, to the point where people can no longer see that black is black and white is white, but just the opposite, night is day and day is night, like George Orwell says in his book, 1984. He says, and he goes on to mention, that there are 4 stages to overcome a country, a nation. The first one is demoralization. It takes 15 to 20 years. Works in any nation whereby there's no morals anymore. People go down to their moral stature because you can break them. You can feed them information. You can change their ideas. And guess what? It's not espionage. It's talking to people about human rights. It's convincing them to expand their borders and so forth. Their mental borders, their ways of perception of human rights and so forth, to where you accept everyone, no matter even the person a criminal. He goes on to say a very interesting point. He says, think about it. Carter allowed Cuban criminals into the country when Castro pushed them out. So he says, imagine, here I am, an immigrant from the United States, and I'm a law-abiding immigrant, and the criminal who Castro sent out has the same rights as I do. Make sense? That's called imposed equality. And that's called communism. That's called socialism. Just last night, 2 nights ago, Communist Manifesto quoted at the Oscars. Can that be? Workers of the world unite. Is that amazing? How can it happen in the United States? So Yuri, in this video, says, if the United States is gone, where can I defect to? Because this is the bastion of freedom. He goes on to say, further on, how to destabilize a country, how to bring crisis, and how to make it normalization. These are all stages of how to brainwash someone, how to brainwash your enemy. Okay, there's no more USSR, it's true. But what it is still is that national, international, communist, Marxist revolution is still going out there. And there is another type of change of morals and so forth. To the point where he says, an amazing point, he says, those who become the adamant adherents of the revolution in the United States will be the first ones to be put out. Because why? When the shock comes to them that they were used and abused and they were the useful idiots, they will try to revolt and they'll be killed first. They'll be sent to the gulags first. They'll be sent to an Alaskan prison and so forth. What does this mean? It means the only ones in this country, and even for the world if you think about it, that are really holding the light of freedom around the world is the Republican Party. Yep. It is you. You are the ones who are able to see behind the veneer. And I can tell you this because I was once a Democrat. I know what the left stands for. I know something very well what the left stands for. The left uses tactics that are covert. Not overt, covert. They will not tell you to your face what they think of you. They will hug you and kiss you, but behind those words is a snake in grass. Okay? The Republican is someone who tells what he feels, what he thinks, what she thinks, what she feels. She's very honest. But that honesty is too much for people. Because how can you be so honest? So people get angry at Trump for his blunt language. Guess what? I'd rather have someone tell me bluntly what he thinks about me than smile and then give me a family handshake and a knife in the back. Right? The next 9 months until November, each one of us has to fight the fight. Because as Yuri mentions in the video, you can see it for yourself, he says there's 2 ways to change this. Not to write letters to your congressman, that won't help. He says the following, he says, 1, education of patriotism. You must make your children patriots. You must make your friends patriots. And people think, well, it's patriot taking a knee. That's wrong. It's the opposite. People gave their lives in World War II, and World War I, and the Korean War, and the Vietnam War, and in Afghanistan, fighting in Iraq. They are the ones who are the patriots. They are the superheroes. They gave life to the land so we can peacefully unite. And when people say, well, I'm being patriotic, I can get away with my freedom of speech and so forth. Freedom of speech is not yelling fire in a theater. Freedom of speech is not something else. And Antifa says they believe in left-wing ideology. My goodness. If they did, then they would accept the right-wing's proposals. They would accept hearing someone else's point of view. That's freedom of speech. Not going, la, 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 I can't hear you. That's what they do. That is terrible, that is disgusting, that is anti-American. The founding fathers believed in freedom of speech. They believed in checks and balances. Jonathan Turley, the lawyer, the constitutional lawyer, the scholar, he went in front of the House, so the video a few days ago, just to rehash again what he said. He said to Nadler and to Schiff and everyone else, gentlemen, if you do not go to the court, then you are the ones who are doing an act of abuse of power. Why? Because the court is the check and balances to the other 2 branches of the 3 branches of the United States government. And guess what? They didn't listen to him. So the abuse of power was not Donald J. Trump. The abuse of power was the Congress. Nadler and Schiff and Pelosi. And for Pelosi to tear it up like that, disgusting, childish, and it shows. It really does show that she has no respect for American democracy. Not at all. In Hebrew we say, derech eretz Torah. Politeness, manners, even before you learn Torah. What does that mean? If you don't appreciate your fellow human being, you don't show respect, then all your religion means nothing. Then all your highfalutin words mean nothing. There must be decorum, there must be civility, there must be discourse between human beings in America to show America stands for the greatness it is. And when the other side says, I don't want to hear your point of view, that's communist, that's Marxist, that's dictatorship. That now we have a socialist who just won the primary. What does that mean? I mean, it has come to a point where equality is going to be from the top down. And that means then dictatorship. The only one who's saving the world, basically, in the world is the United States, is Israel, and all those believe in those ideas. And there's one great man who's doing it in our generation. And it's Donald J. Trump. This man will go down in history as one of the greatest men ever lived, one of the greatest friends of Jewish people, if not the greatest friend. And 100 years from now, 20 years from now, 1,000 years from now, Donald J. Trump will be remembered as the man who saved the world from tyranny. Thank you so much for letting me speak tonight.